Yeah. Well, hello, real estate rock stars. I hope your day is going great. Your host Hannah is here. As you might know, that I've returned from my lavish vacation in Europe, where I was packing my apartment, selling, donating, reducing my staff, unboxing, boxing, reboxing, and relocating my daughter for college to France. So lavish vacation. Oh no, forget about it. I was a work camp, but I am done. I am so happy to be back to actual work. And I am also happy to be back here with you, real estate rock stars, and with our coaches to talk about real estate, to talk about what is new, what's going on, what's happening. And right now, I have here with me our coach, Jess Stone. Hey, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh, doesn't it feel good to be back? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know. I'm in the same boat as you. I've been dealing with my dad for like the past year, so I totally get it. It's been like, oh, but
No,
yes, we're back.
honestly,
We're back.
yeah, I was like, I can't wait to be back at work, and I'm back at work, back in the warehouse, and I'm just so happy. Anyway, but work needs to be done. And now let's go back to our original hustle. The game is called real estate. And
Yep.
we are putting together, well, you are putting together your upcoming webinar, and it will be buyer's blueprint. And that is a hot,
Yep.
hot, sizzling topic because all of you buyers agents, I know you might be pulling your hair out. Don't do it. I know game is changing, everything is changing, but at the end, the game still stays the same. At the end, you are here to provide service and help your clients with some tweaking here and there. And who knows when the tweaking will stop. But Jess has prepared actually a big boot camp, which will start with the free webinar where you can learn a lot, ask a lot of questions. And that's basically what I would like to talk about right now. I know we have about 20 minutes on your end. So let's quickly dive deep in. And with the refresher, what's happening in Florida's market?
Well, right now, honestly, we're kind of slowing down. We're seeing a lot of stuff slowing down, but at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of stuff coming back on the market, and stuff is, prices are increasing and everything. So it's even with this crazy buyers broker agreements that we have to do, stuff is moving. So, I mean, it's not like it was where we were like, 2, 3 days in the market, maybe 2 weeks on the market. Now we're seeing a decent amount of stuff that has been staying on the market longer. I think the average in my particular area is like 52 days,
Mhm.
but it's buyers are coming back. We're seeing, the drop in interest rates, that's helping a lot, but still there are also a lot of people that are scared because of the elections and they're not sure, what they want to do. But also for us, we're heading into snowbird season. So, we're gonna have people want to move to Florida. It's,
Yeah,
and honestly, I don't blame them because I was one of those people once upon a time. But
yeah.
yeah, it's the market is the biggest change that we're seeing is how we deal with buyers and everything, because it's like everybody knows now, as of August 17th, we can't even unlock a door unless we have a buyer broker agreement signed.
And
There are
I'll have a couple of questions when you say certain things like this. Is it's only specific for Florida?
No, this is actually all over the United
Okay.
States, no matter where you are, because of the NAR settlement, and their whole legal showdown. Part of that settlement was that we had to go and we have to have a signed buyer's agreement.
Mm-hmm.
While it used to be, I mean, I was a big fan of the one and done. If they're not pre-approved, I'm not going to work with them. Like, I'll show them one house, but that's it. Those days are over.
Yeah.
We can't even do one and done anymore. We have to sell ourselves the minute we pick up the phone and say, hi, this is Jess, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And for some people that can be really intimidating, especially for the newbies and everything out there. It's we really need to work on sharing our value
Mm-hmm.
and showing people what we provide for them.
Yeah. And we all should speak the same language. I would say, obviously, English or Spanish or Vietnamese. If you are that type of a real estate agent, right, you speak the language. However, to share the same message. So if the buyer will be calling different agents, we will all share the same message and they will learn over short time that there is a buyer's agreement which has to be signed, because if only a couple of agents will be saying it, then it can be bad for the industry.
Oh, it can be
So
very bad.
education is
Yeah.
extremely important. Yeah.
I honestly, I've thought about it some, and I think that with now you have to interview agents just like you would your lawyer or a doctor or an accountant or something. We have to show that we are educated. And even if you're new, it doesn't matter if you're new, as long as you are putting the customer first and you are sharing a value, that's what's going to set you apart. It's not just, you can't just get into real estate anymore and just make a lot of money, which a lot of people, a lot of agents do. It's why we have so many agents that fall out in the first year. And, if they make it to 5 years, chances are likely that you're going to make it further. But you have to show your value and show honestly, your integrity and what you are about first thing out the door. And sometimes when you're a new agent, you might not be able to do that because you don't know what you're doing. So how are you going to go about that? You have to figure that out for yourself. But my boot camp is going to help with that. I'm going to share some tips and tricks that I've done throughout the years that I keep refining because it's so much. It's not just, oh, go out and show a house and, oh, look at this, this window is, newer and it works, it goes up and down. It's like, you want to research the house beforehand. You want to know before you go in, how old is the AC? How old is the roof? You want to know everything you can about what you're showing.
Mm-hmm.
And well, maybe not necessarily everything because, you can't know everything.
Yeah.
But you want to be as informative and educational as possible. And it is okay. And this is one thing that I talk about in my boot camp, that, it is okay to say, I don't know that. But I'm going to teach you guys how you can say that without like looking like a total idiot. So there's a lot of fake it until you make it when you're a newbie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually sticking to your guns and everything and making sure that you're confident
Uh-huh.
and sharing that confidence with your buyer and making sure that you have informed them and educated them and handheld them to get from point A to point B. So it's gonna get really interesting, especially for the newbies, because they don't teach us how to sell ourselves or a house, honestly. They teach you in real estate school how to stay out of jail and avoid lawsuits. That is the number one thing that, everybody that I know that has gone through real estate school, it's like, yeah, there's even a meme about it where it's like, all I learned was how to stay out of jail. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah. I
so,
know that a lot of new agents are actually the buyer's agents, right? That's kind of an entry level into the real estate world.
mhm.
And is it how you started real estate? How did you start it? Tell us.
I was actually thrown to the wolves. I like to say that I was thrown to the wolves, but I absolutely love my broker because that was a really good way for me to learn.
Mm-hmm.
2 days after I got my license and I signed up with the brokerage that I was with, I went on my first listing appointment. And beforehand, I was panicked. I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't. So I was just like, okay, I got this. I'm going to go in. I got this. I can do this. And I asked my broker a lot of questions. And she was like, well, just go. Just do it. See what happens. And so I went in and I asked for a tour and everything. And I did not know what I was doing. I did not get the listing appointment, but they did like me. They ended up actually renting out their house
Uh-huh.
instead. but they yeah, I was thrown to the wolves, and it was a lot of learn on the go, and
Yeah.
it was a trial by fire. It really was. It's
Tough
But my
school of
broker,
errors.
she was amazing though, because I would sit there and I would write my contracts, for my buyers or whatever, and I would say, hey, can you look this over, make sure I did everything right? She would come back to me and she'd say, why did you write it this way? And I would have to explain
Ah,
what I was thinking, my thinking behind everything. And she was like, okay, you've learned something. And it was good. It was good for me. It worked for me. That might not work for everybody, but it worked for me.
yeah, yeah. And these days, do you work more with the buyers or sellers? I know that you're extremely passionate about buyers because there is something shiny about buying and hunting for a house,
I
right?
mean, it's a dopamine hit. I would say actually these days I would say probably 70% buyers,
Oh,
30%. My math is off, I know. 40% listings. Yeah, 70-30.
no, but this
But
this is great. This is actually, guys, why you should listen to Jess because she does work buyers
I'm
passionately.
honest to a fault too.
Okay, passionately. And we have a couple other quick questions. When did buyers started to notice that, the lawsuit was happening in the real estate world? And when did you got first people asking about it?
Just recently, honestly.
Recent.
A
Okay.
lot of people, they did not, the buyers that I'm getting in, they're asking questions and stuff. And I've only got a few buyers right now because, I'm just getting back into the swing of things. But I don't even give them a chance to bring it up. I actually talk to my buyers ahead of time. I tell them about the changes that, have happened. I'm like, hey, I would really love to show you this house and I would love to set up an appointment, but first we got to have a conversation. They've changed the way that the rules are, and now before we can even open a door for you, we have to have a buyer broker agreement signed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different ways that I handle that, but for the most part, a lot of people are open
Mm-hmm.
to signing that agreement. I have not had an issue yet.
Yeah. Well, it is, you are following the law.
Mhm.
Right? You are showing other people's property and you have to do it by the law. You just can't. And then in the end, you're the one who can get them in. So I like it that you are very honest up front and basically explain that the game has changed. And how do you also discuss the commission?
Yeah, we have to discuss, they're actually, my brokerage now, we're calling it compensation.
Oh,
So
okay.
we don't even say commission, we say compensation now. At
Because
least
we
this
can,
is in
right?
our neck of the woods.
Okay, yeah, okay, guys, disclaimer. I am I'm very passionate about real estate, but I'm way more knowledgeable about home staging business itself because I've been at it for almost 15 years. I have two home staging companies, but that's why sometimes I have no clue, but you know what? That puts me into like a newbie environment. So
Mhm.
there might be even a restriction how you can call certain things, right?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. So listing agents are getting better at answering their phones, thankfully,
Yeah.
because and it's such a fine line that you have to walk, because it's like if I'm setting up showings and stuff and my buyers can't afford to pay my compensation, because I flat out tell people, okay, this is what I'm charging. And, I'm going to do everything that I can to negotiate my compensation from the seller side.
Mhm.
But if there's a case where the seller is not offering compensation,
Yeah.
you know,
You need to get paid for your time, expertise,
yeah,
knowledge, everything.
it's
Yeah.
all about their expectations, and what works within their expectations. So right now, it's like all my consultations, if we're doing it like in my office, I actually have them sign my consultation forms that tells me exactly what they want. And
Mhm.
if on that consultation form, it says specifically that they do not want to see houses that, you know, a seller is not going to offer compensation,
Mhm.
you know, I can't legally, at least I don't think I can, you know, tell them, no, this house does not offer compensation. We're supposed to show our code of ethics, we're supposed to show buyers the houses that they want to see.
Well, but wait a minute. If they will sign a document that they do not want to see houses where your side of compensation is not being covered, they're basically saying that they want to take care of you.
Yeah,
So then,
it's a tightrope. It really is, because then I'm having a conversation. If there's one specific house
yeah,
and they're not offering compensation and I call that listing agent, then I have to negotiate with that listing agent. And if I tell that listing agent, you know, hey, I can't, you know, my buyers don't want to see houses that aren't, you know,
yeah,
compensation friendly,
uh-huh.
then I'm following my client's orders. I'm not necessarily, you know, I want to show them everything. I
Yeah.
really do. But we
So
have to work
that is
within
a
what they
great
say.
approach. I like it. That actually, and guys, this is already golden nuggets. You can actually not only negotiate with your clients, with the buyers, you can negotiate with the listing agent, who can then negotiate with their own clients and hopefully come to some kind of a conclusion. Wow,
Mhm.
game has changed.
Game has definitely
It's so
changed.
much more complicated. Oh my
But you
goodness.
know what? I also think it's also a good thing on the listing side, because if you have somebody that is going to show a house, you know, they took out the compensation fields on the MLS. So we don't know unless we make a phone call to that listing agent. And then they're going to know, okay, we're interested in that house. It's going to in my both in Indiana and here in Florida, I've dealt with listings where I was the listing agent and I had people, you know, not bother to make appointments and have gone to see houses that I've listed with, you know, without making the appointment, without giving me a heads up, or my sellers. And sometimes my sellers are at home and they're like, what's going on? Why didn't you just call me? So now I think this is actually going to help on the listing side as well, as
Mhm.
crazy as it sounds, because we're going to have to, you know, we're going to have to cooperate a little bit more in that sandbox.
Yeah. Wow.
It's so much, it opens up such a can of worms to think about. And then you just try to follow like the letter of the law, but then, you know, can you bend it this way? Can you twist it that way? It's ultimately you want what's best for your client.
That is true. But also, you do have to protect yourself as a business owner. You know, that goes without saying because
Yep.
we know how it can all end.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel you have a good support with your broker in your office?
Yes, absolutely 100%. They have been phenomenal.
Mhm.
I mean, every time there is a change, and sometimes it feels like we get two, three changes a week. It's, you know, they're out there, they're educating us and they're teaching us. And you know, I mean, I do a lot of research on my own too,
Mhm.
because it's so important. It's complex.
Yes.
There's not one thing that is similar to another. It's, I know that Barino and I, we had the conversations where every transaction is a learning transaction and every transaction is different.
Yeah.
One minute it could be easy. The next minute you could be, you know, in
I know
knee high and
it
crap.
almost feels like it's a house of cards. And then
Yeah,
one little piece, one little puzzle piece is pull out and everything would
yep.
what you've been building, the listing agent has been building, everyone around has been building can fall apart in matter of minutes or seconds. That is
Oh
true.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? This was really good. Good sneak peek into your webinar and then eventually into your buyer's blueprint bootcamp. I think I would like to have you one more for like one more little session. What is all this about, if you don't mind, and talk a little bit more about what you are preparing for your students. Is
Oh,
that
I'm
a
so excited. Absolutely. I'm so excited.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing everything today. And after the call, I'm just gonna call you one more time and we'll set a next appointment, okay?
Absolutely.
Game has changed and we have to adapt to it so we don't end up like dinosaurs. So just thank you so much. Thank you one more time for your time. And I'm looking forward to see you soon again. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.